Lord Shani Bandwana Bekosi, and welcome to yet another episode of Hlobi's Hive. What it do, what it does. My name is hlobisileevelynmahlangu. To those of you who are tuning in for the first time and thinking of just passing by, might as well just click that subscribe button. You become part of this amazing family. To all our newbies, our new subscribers, thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. And to my golden oldies, shout outs. Thank you for your continued love and support. It truly does keep me going and inspires me so much on a daily. Now today's episode is gonna be a quarterly reflection. As you've seen throughout the year, I've done reflections on each quarter, how it has gone, what I've learned, and what I hope to apply in the coming up quarter. And this one has been a sweet one, man. I wanted to say bittersweet, but I really truly believe that it only been sweet. You know, maybe the bitterness would have come in me really adjusting to it, but it has truly been a sweet one. Speaking of sweet things, if you do remember, I was applying for the YouTube Made For You program, and by the grace and favor of God, your love and support, we made it. We made it into the YouTube Made For You program, and I say it is by the grace and favor of God, family, because we had not made it to 500 subbies by the day of the closing date of the applications, but somehow God made a way, and yeah, I was able to make it into the program. And I have you to thank, because I know there are some of you who subscribed because, you know, I was trying to build my numbers up to reach 500 subscribers for the program, and I have you to thank for believing in me and really heeding the call and subscribing. And I believe that it's because it was that much closer to 500 that we made it as well, you know. So I will also get into it as part of my reflection much later on in today's episode. But yeah, man, I just wanted to say shout out. Thank you so much. Before we get into anything though, you know that we need to get into the word of the day. The word of the day today we find in the book of Psalms 46 verse 10. It is a verse that I feel we are all so used to. We know it very well, but I have gotten in this season, and why I chose it for this particular reflection is because I have received from the Lord a different revelation of it, and it resonates so much with me, and it has helped me so much in adjusting in this season, and in really what can I say, like indulging in all that the season had to offer for me, right? It reads, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be honored by every nation. I will be honored throughout the world. Be still and know that I am God," which has been something that we mostly translate to give it all unto God and God will take care of it. Kind of trust God because He'll make a way. I think for me, that's how I've understood it all my life. Like, just trust that God will make a way. Like, do not worry. Like, just know that God has your back, you know. Rest assured that He is there for you. And in as much as I've gotten this new revelation of this word, it does not take away from that particular revelation of, you know, just trust in the Lord and believe that He will make a way, and believe that He is God and there is nothing that is too hard for Him, and He can still do it in your situation, you know. It really does not take away from that revelation. It still is very much valid. But I think the revelation that I've gotten of this world and this season is exactly what I needed for me to be able to apply it, you know, in this season. So my last quarter, which is October, November, December. Now December just started, so yeah, why am I doing it now and not much later on? I really would like to sort of chill out in December and not have to put out content and whatnot. But yeah, because of the program of the YouTube Made For You program, I kind of can't do that. But I just want to reflect now because I feel like yeah, it just felt like the right time to reflect because I've been thinking about it constantly. I've been thinking about my year. I've been thinking about the journey, the process and everything. And so I think now is the time for me to talk through it and yeah, basically share, you know, everything that has been revealed to me in this season. So it's very late in the afternoon, guys, and I'm relying on natural light. So sorry for the inconsistency in my lighting there. So as I think I indicated in my other reflection that in this season, in the final quarter, it would be much focusing on resting and really taking the time to really breathe. I had indicated how much throughout the year it has been really me going and doing and fighting and pulling all the strings and, you know, making sure that, you know, I do what I think I need to do in order to get things done, get things going in my life in that sense. And in this season, in this quarter, it has really been rest, and not rest in the sense of inactivity or rest in the sense of just always sleeping and whatnot. As I had indicated also in my previous reflection, I had exam season, so clearly I had to be studying during that time, and I also did get a Hasonyana gig vibe. So I wasn't just sitting and not doing anything. But in my state of mind and my state of being, I have really taken a backseat. It's weird to put it like that, a backseat when it comes to wanting control over my life, wanting control over the things that I do to shape my life, and I think, yeah, if you watch, you know, my previous reflections, you'll understand what I mean. You know, that sense of always wanting to work, push, grind, and feeling as if I don't do that, then like nothing will happen in my life. So I've taken a back seat in that sense, in sort of like wanting to take control, take over, and want to go at everything with all I have, and feeling like if I don't, then things won't happen the way that I want them to. So in that regard, I have taken a backseat, right? So because of my awareness of my need to constantly be working, to constantly be wanting to prove myself to, I thought there's a reason why I see this pattern in my life, and I'm so, how can I say it? I'm so much more aware of it every time I go into that mode. I feel it, you know, and I feel the strain that it has on me. And I told myself, obviously there's a reason why this is becoming such a, becoming such a pestering thing, in a sense, you know. It was becoming that thing of, I started to look at it more than just a thing of me being someone who doesn't want, who isn't lazy, if I can say it that way, because that's how I saw it. It's that I saw myself doing that as a way, because I would tell myself that I'm someone who doesn't like to be lazy and not do anything to try and make their lives better, you know. So I instead of just looking at it from that point of view, I was like, no, but now I'm having this awareness and this sensitivity to this thing in a different kind of way, as a thing that I really need to let go of, you know. Because also throughout the year, I think it's also quite evident in my reflections, my previous reflections, how God has been calling me into a place of trusting Him, into a place of really surrendering my life and believing that in His hands, you know, like the most, my life is most valuable, and I can get the most out of myself and my life if I trust in Him, you know. So I sort of saw it in that way of there's something about this quality in me that is preventing God from working in my life. and that is preventing me also to experience God in a certain way in my life. And so I really sat down and I was like, okay, besides it being me besides this thing of me always wanting to do being something that is a result of me just being a proactive person who likes to get things done, what else could it be, And I realized that one of the things that makes me that way is fear. It's fear of being stuck or feeling stuck, because I don't think we're ever stuck. Everything that we go through is for a reason and a season, So I think because I view not being busy with something, not being busy with a production, not being in a production, like being cast in a production, not being being in school, not I think basically this shows up more on when it comes to work for me. But not only that, even in my relationships, I saw that it does actually show up, because even in my relationship, I've had to surrender that. Even in my relationships, I feel like, if things are just I feel like something is not happening, I constantly want to be talking about something in terms of relationship. I want to be working through something, I want to be addressing something. And if I'm not addressing something, I feel like something is not right, I can't remember who it was, but there was a speaker, I think on Instagram, who was talking about that sometimes we see flaws in the people we do life with, or we see their strengths and weaknesses, and we feel like their weaknesses are things that we need to, I think it was upset the gram. I forgot his name. He was saying that there's strengths and weaknesses in the people we do life with, but he was talking mainly like in terms of marriage. We see strengths and weaknesses, and in people's weaknesses we feel like it's stuff that needs to be corrected, whereas it's actually things that we need to support one another and partner on, So in relationships, how my wanting to always work and go shows up like that. Like if there's something in someone that I don't like, or if there's something in someone that I feel is lacking, I want to sort of go on to this quest to fix it, So I realized, no, it is a fear of being stuck. It is a fear of being undervalued, a fear of feeling as if I've got nothing to contribute, a fear of feeling like if I'm not working on myself, it means my worth is like depreciating. It's also a wanting of always wanting to prove myself, of always wanting to say I am what I am, the girl I think I am, And so I sat down and I realized, sometimes I'm just always, I even think about some of the conversations I have with people who are really inspired with me doing stuff and creating work and all of that, and they're like, how do you do it and all of that? How do you stay, relevant and showing up? And sometimes I tell them, you must always be around, for people to see you in the industry. You can't just sit and not do nothing. They need to know that you're still there in the space, And I think, that's another reason why, in as much as there is some truth to that, but I think for me it was also just become sometimes driven too far, to a point where even when I don't want to be, And honestly, I believe that if ever you are meant to be in a certain production, if ever you're meant to do something, you will be there, regardless of the fact that maybe you've been quiet in the industry, in the scene for however long. But if that thing is meant to be for you, then it will be for you, So I identified that fear is one of the things that make me want to be this person who always just wants to do stuff, who doesn't want to chill and just like allow God to lead, and fully trust that with God leading, things will work out, So another thing that I've discovered as another reason as to why I am that person that just kind of always wants to push and do is distraction. Trying to distract myself from the from waiting on God, trying to distract myself from God's redirection, God's discipline, God's realignment, because it's hard. It's hard sometimes to accept that the things that you've wanted for a long time, or the things that you really thought you're all about for a long time, it's hard to actually realize that those things are not going to serve the purpose that God has for you in your life. It's not easy to just let go of those things. And so sometimes I think I find myself just doing stuff in an effort to say, like, in a way, saying to myself, well, I'm going to do this anyway. And I will know for sure, even though Holy Spirit has already, said that, nah. Even with people, even with people and relationships in my life, sometimes I stay with people that I'm not meant to stay with. And, well, maybe I'm meant to stay with for a certain period, but I end up keeping them in my life or staying in their life for longer than I should, and knowing that I've overstayed my welcome in this person's life, or they've overstayed their welcome in my life, but sort of just dragging it out because I have that thing of, then what? This is all I've known, and sort of wanting God to sort of give me a straight up no, of which it causes delay, I understand why I do it, but it causes so much delay, and it causes you so much more hurt than you need to go through. Because I feel like if you're able to really accept God's redirection and accept God's realignment sooner, then it will make sense sooner. But the more you drag out letting go of certain things in your life, then the harder it is to get back on the track, which you were meant to go on. So that's another reason that I've realized why I do and end up doing in my own strength. Even sometimes things that I believe the Lord has laid on my heart, or the Lord has led me to, I end up doing out of my own strength, because now when the grace that the Lord had allocated for me in that specific thing runs out, I want to continue. I want to go on. And so that's another thing that I realized, makes me become that person who just does things. And then also just a fear of not being in control. It's scary. I think it also just ties in with not distracting myself from God's alignment, from God's redirection. It's the fear of not being in control. I'm the kind of person who likes to know that when I put 1 and plus 1 in, I'm gonna get 2. When I turn left, I'm gonna ngizopumela at a particular place. If I take this path, it's gonna lead me into this place. And so with God, you don't have that. All you have is to trust that He's God and He is good, and wherever He leads you, it is good. It is where you need to be. You don't have the control of knowing where that will be. You don't have the control of what it's gonna look like, and so it's also just that fear of not knowing, of having no control, that has made me be a person who just wants to do as a way to try and find a sense of control because by doing, I know it's, if I work hard enough, if I save enough, I'll be able to buy 1, 2, 3. If I apply to many fundings and I've done 1, 2, 3 XYZ amount of productions, then they will see, that this girl has a great work ethic, and they're pushing. It's that thing of me trying to tell myself that, and it doesn't always even work. Even in me taking those measures to try and be in control of the outcomes of my efforts, it doesn't even always work out that way. Majority of the time it doesn't work out. So I think that's another thing that has made me really sit down with this quality about myself and be like, is it really helping you, or are you just being trained for no reason when God is out here saying, lean on me, trust in me, and let me take control of your life? So yeah, those are the things that I've had to sit down and really process and be like, okay, what's up, girl? But also in learning those things and in trying to release that fear, in trying to release that need to be in control, in trying to, instead of being distracted from what God is saying and doing in my life, paying more attention in doing all of that. There are also some things that I've actually discovered. So I have notes, guys. don't be alarmed that I keep looking down. So yeah, these are some of the truths and some of the nuggets that I've had to embrace in me laying down the fears and laying down the control. What I've learned to embrace is gratitude. Gratitude is such a gift. Honestly, gratitude is such a gift. I don't know if that popular verse that we all love, I know it's Thessalonians 5. I'm just not sure if it's 1st or 2nd Thessalonians, that says, pray always, be grateful in all circumstances, because it's God's will for you. God is so good that He wills for us to be in a state of gratitude always. And there's a reason for that, because the opposite, it causes us anxiety. And God doesn't want us to be anxious. In Philippians again, He said, be anxious for nothing. And so gratitude is that one thing that keeps you. He says, be anxious for nothing. He says, do not worry. And gratitude is the one thing that gives you that. And he says you must have peace. Gratitude gives you peace as well. So I've learned in the season to embrace gratitude and allow it to do its thing. And I encourage you to embrace gratitude and allow it to do its thing. Just being thankful, guys. I found myself at one day when I'm during devotion, being led by the Spirit to just say thank you to the Lord. Just anything that comes into my mind, to say thank you to the Lord for. I was gone. I was in tears. I was on the floor, lying down, just from a prayer of saying thank you. Because taking the time and remembering what the Lord has brought you through, it's amazing. And not even just because it's going to show you that God can get you through the next thing. That alone, just in itself, remembering what God has brought you through, even the people in your life, how God has kept you, how God has kept your family, how God has blessed you with amazing people who have gotten you through hard things, how blessed you are to be in the place that you at, having the things that you have, and as much as you wish for more, but just how blessed you. That alone in itself, never mind the element of it giving you hope for God doing it again, that alone is just so liberating. And to know that it's God's will for you to feel like that is an absolute blessing. So in me letting go of those things, that's what gratitude replaced the fear. Gratitude replaced the need to be in control. Gratitude replaced, everything that had led me to be in that state of wanting to overwork myself. Another thing is contentment. I speak on contentment on a video, and it's just also just being a constant revelation, being something that is constantly being unfolded for me. Contentment. I'm a Jesus this, Jesus that girly. So this I think was it last week or that other week, where Rorusang was talking about contentment, and something she said stuck out for me in terms of contentment is that contentment shouldn't be consolation. You mustn't say you're content just because you are trying to say, oh, Hashem, it's fine, at least, it shouldn't be an Hashem, at least. That's not what contentment is. Contentment is like genuinely feeling fulfilled, embracing and accepting who you are and where you're at. Another revelation that I've gotten from contentment is knowing that the fact that you have God and God is by your side is enough. It doesn't matter what you're going through, but when you're content with the fact that if I'm going through this and God is allowing me and God is with me in this, that is enough. That is enough. So I've had a level of contentment that is, sometimes I'm even like, hey, does this mean I'm accepting, like I'm just like, I'm done, I don't want to do things in life? The level of contentment that I've had has even like kind of made me stress. It's okay, does this mean I'm by millionaire, billionaire, because I'm so fulfilled, with who God has me showing up as in the season, But that's the level of contentment that I've been able to reach in laying down all the other things that I've had to face. And obedience. Obedience now in the sense of the scripture of be still and know. Obedience. So like I said in the beginning, me being in this state of rest, I've also done, I think, a video on rest. So do check it out. Resting in God. Resting and doing things God's way is being still doesn't mean not doing anything. Being still means doing what God asks you. Like I said earlier, even in the video, that some of the things, it's not that I just go that way. It's not that God says go this way and then I go that way and then I'm overworking myself. It's because God says go this way and I go, and then I just want to keep going. Even when God says, okay, cool, now says yeah, we left, but I just want to keep going. I just want to keep pushing. And obedience has been something that, oh my word, I wish I could make you understand it the way, it's like the little things. God is so, the little things, God telling you to do the little thing, and to me it's like, really you want me to do that? I don't want to do that. Will it even work? Because I don't want to do it. And God just says do it, trust me. And you do it and you're like, what? What I wanted to do wasn't going to solve this problem this soon. Just that immediate obedience to a small thing, that's another thing, like immediate obedience. It's not easy, honestly, guys. It's not easy. I think God is shredding a lot of who I used to be from me as well. I think this overworking element also being one of the things that he's shredding off of me, and it's really difficult. But immediate obedience is very important. It's very important. It's very important. Also with the thing of distractions from God's alignment, it comes with, someone said that if you don't obey God immediately, it's equals to disobedient. Because God looks at the heart and God has his own timing. So if God says do this now and you don't want to do it, he's going to the next available person. He says if we are not going to worship him, then he's going to order the stones to do it. He doesn't have our time, God. If he's saying do it now, you need to do it now, because it's connected to something else. It's not just about you. So that's another thing of God saying it's not just about you. Obedience is about everything that he does in our lives translating into him being glorified. And it's been amazing coming to the whole YouTube thing. I was telling my brother, who does the music for my channel, by the way. So if you dig the vibes of the music on my channel, check him out. I always tag him in the description box. I was telling him that he was telling me that he's not surprised that I made it into the program, even though I hadn't made it to 500 subscribers. And he said as soon as he saw in my vlog that I applied anyway, even though I had not reached 500, he knew that I was gonna get in, because he was telling me that it's how faith works. When you have faith, you need to exercise it, and the whole point of faith is when things don't make sense. So we were having that conversation. I was like, you're so right, because this entire thing, it was faith. This entire thing, it was faith. One, I'm not a person that enters for these kinds of things, guys. I'm very skeptical. I'm very like, oh, it's another one of those, in the first place. For me to have an interest in the YouTube shorts thingy, it was a faith thing. It was a God thing. Two, having to ask people to subscribe to my channel almost every day, almost like begging people to subscribe to my channel for me to get to those numbers. Not me. Not me. And I tried to talk myself out of it. I was just like, okay, I'll just make videos and hopefully my numbers will grow. But there was no way my numbers would have grown that fast, because I think when I saw it, it was like 2 weeks until the applications closed. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get like 80 subscribers in just 2 weeks. It doesn't matter if I release a video every day. There's no way. I need to ask people to subscribe. I need to let people know that this is what I'm trying to do and ask them to subscribe. And God was just like, do it. And I did it. And guys, I was so overwhelmed. Because I didn't think that would work. Even though we didn't reach the 500, but the way my numbers went up during that time, and the response, people's response to it, people really going and subscribing, and some of the people that were subscribing was like, even this person. I don't want to name drop. But I'm like, really? It also taught me that sometimes you need to get out of your comfort zone and do what doesn't make sense, So that in itself, it just took my faith to another level, even though we didn't reach. I was even telling that same cousin, I was like, you know what, at this point, God forbid we don't make it to 500, but even if we don't, I'm so touched. I feel so blessed to know that there's people in my life that I can literally say, yo, I need your backup, and they jump. It was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch. Okay, you know what? I need to wrap this up. It's gonna be too long, guys. So yeah, obedience and doing as God instructs you in that moment, and trusting that it will translate, it will make sense, it will track. Be still for me now means being present, being aware, and being willing. The be is being available to God. And be still is staying true, sticking to your position, knowing, staying true to who you are in God, remembering who God calls you, remembering that God has a plan for your life, and that his plan is to prosper you, not to harm you. And be still and know without a doubt. When you know something, you don't doubt. It's like, if someone says, it's like your name, you know it, you don't doubt. You're not gonna wake up tomorrow and you're a different name unless you go change it. But your name is your name. It's something that will always be there, something that you will know. So knowing is that surety, that assurance, and that I am God, the I am stood out for me, because even God says, he tells Moses that when you get to Pharaoh, tell them that I am sent you. And even today, he still is I am. And how it translated to me is that God can never be in past tense. He is there. He is here with us. He's the same today, yesterday, and forever. He is I am. And so he is the same God that has carried you through everything that he has carried you through. And he is the same God in this moment. He is Godding in this moment, and he will always God over you. So that's how now the scripture has been revealed to me in the season, and I'm truly grateful. And I want to really mature in the state of being. It's been so liberating. It's been scary. I'm not gonna lie. It's been scary. I've mourned. I can't believe I'm about to cry. I've mourned becoming and being in this state, because it feels so different to whom I've always been. But I'm so grateful that it's happening, because I feel like it means so much more. I need this, who I'm becoming, so much more than I need to be that person who is always doing. I need to be able to trust in God in this way more. So I really, really, really hope that it's not something that I rush through, but something that I really, really mature and grow in, and I allow myself to truly become, even in the next season. So yeah, going even into the new year, there are many things that God has dropped in my heart, but I don't want to dwell into them too much, because that's what happens. Even this year, when the year started, I was like, it's not an ordinary year whereby I set the plans and I'm like, God, this is what I want you to do, so do it, But it was a year of me trying to allow God, and I think that's how I've gotten to this place, because it was me trying to allow God to really do the thing in me, and He's really working it in me. So again, these things that God has placed in my heart for the coming year, for the new season, in different aspects of my life, and I'm gonna pray about it and ask God to take control, and ask God to help me to release and relinquish my control to Him, so that I don't end up wanting these things to happen in the way that I want them to happen, and wanting a certain result to come out of them, which is not something that He has planned in me doing those different things. So that is my reflection. And I hope that you learn something from it, and I hope that you grow from it, because I really have, and it's amazing. And yeah, guys, please show love. With me being in this program, I'm going to be putting out a lot of shorts, different challenges in the program. Please show love. Please go through my shorts, subscribe, recommend things that you think that I should try in my videos, and all of that you would like, because you being a subscriber on this channel, you need to be catered to. Okay, so if there's ideas and things that come up as you watch my content, please do drop it, so that I can meet you where you're at. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to to subscribe, to comment, and to share the channel with everyone that you know. I love you so much. Remember to spread love, light, and positivity. Bye.